Ahoy, boys and girls. Welcome into the Junk Drawer, part of the Cork Bats Podcast Network. Happy big game week, guys.
Let's go.
Today is Monday, February 7th. We're a few days away from the matchup of the century, people are saying. I don't think anyone actually said that, but we've got the Rams and the Bengals. Big matchup. We got Joe Burrow versus Matt Stafford, his first ever Super Bowl. What is it? 13th season, I believe, Matt Stafford?
It's been a long time coming.
13th season, Joe Burrow's second season. It's fireworks are about to happen. Well, and by the way, guys, that's Hub over there to my right.
How's it going?
Hey, Hub. And that's Jack down there on the bottom there with the Sixers shirt on.
I just want to clarify, if you don't count all of his years in Detroit, he's actually a rookie. So
he's actually a rookie. So that's
true.
Battle of the young QBs.
Yeah.
It is pretty amazing that Stafford he's had quite the roller coaster of her career, and even including like his personal life. I think his wife had like brain surgery, like just crazy stuff. And I think he has 5 kids. So I mean, you got to feel for the dude. I mean, he's definitely a good guy, and he had to play in Detroit for all those years, like you said, Jack. So I definitely feel for him. But Joe Burrow is the young gunslinger coming into the league. Tore his ACL last year, which I reminded myself of that when I was looking up some stuff earlier. Pretty amazing that he's able to come back. Like ACL tears anymore aren't really as significant as they once were. Maybe it's the surgery's changed, but
pretty about matchup. Science.
Yes, yeah.
It's redemption for the Bengals, because I don't know if you guys remember this, but the hot take on the internet when the Bengals drafted Chase instead of an offensive lineman was like, oh, yeah, okay, well, you have the wide receiver, but you have a quarterback coming off the ACL. No one can block for him, so it's not going to matter. Bengals are a poverty franchise. Who's laughing at the internet?
And honestly, it was true. I think that was true until this year. Well, the playoffs, really, because people were still saying that.
Well, yeah, he's still getting sacked. It's just he's throwing the ball to Chase, and it's working out, man.
You know what's crazy, though, about just talking about the ACL surgery in general? It's kind of not the most exciting topic, but I just remember, like, when I was younger, my cousin, Austin's sister, actually, she tore ACL, and the scar on her knee was, like, this long. And, like, now if you see someone that tear, like, it's so microscopic, the holes that they put in the skin. It's, just love science, guys.
It's crazy. I had my appendix removed, and I don't even have a scar. They just sucked it right out of my stomach. tiny little microscopic hole.
Like through your belly button? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, like literally through my belly button. Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Insane.
Yeah.
Was this recently? Did this happen recently?
No, I was 19.
Oh, so wow. So even there you have it. Even appendix surgery is going to be.
There you go. One of 8% people in the world. Yeah.
It's like we're playing like two truths and a lie. I have my appendix through my belly button.
I don't have my tonsils. What about you, Jack? Did you have any major surgeries?
I had a tumor in my neck in high school. They plopped it
out. There you go.
My parents thought it was a spider bite, and they were like, "Oh, we were at the beach." They were like, "Suck it up. We all get bug bites." And then a week later, it got bigger, and the doctor was like, "Holy tamales!
That's not a spider.
Not a spider.
That is not a spider." Here, you thought you were turning into Peter Parker, and turns out it was something very serious, actually.
Yeah.
So
glad you're all right.
No, my parents didn't want to cut the beach trip short, and they have 5 kids, so.
Oh, I'm sure they put a big deposit down too. So I don't blame them. I will say that.
I don't either.
I honestly forgot Joe Burrow got hurt. Had I remembered that, I probably would have bet on him for comeback player of the year. But obviously, I bet.
Did
on
he
Cam
win that
Newton,
award? I hope he won that award.
He will. He probably will win it.
It didn't happen yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe that was the best thing that happened to the Bengals. Actually, they still were pretty bad his rookie season. Like, he was putting up stats, but they were still pretty bad. But I mean, they got the 5th draft pick, out of it whenever he went down. So
yeah,
Jamar Chase, he wouldn't have been there if they were at like 9 or 10. So
He died for his sins.
Yes, yeah. Joe Burrow. Have you seen these memes that like when Joe Burrow was born, like his the doctor said to his mom that he's a man, like he's not a boy. He's not a boy or a girl. He's a man. People are saying Joe Burrow was born for this. Like he was. This is his rite of passage, and I don't know if you believe in that, but
and I mean the only thing that stopped Burrow in the last 3 years is injury, because wins the national title at LSU,
rookie Heisman as well, not just the national Heisman as well.
Yep, Heisman national title. Then his rookie year, he gets cut short with a torn ACL, and second year, first full entire year in the Super Bowl. So I mean.
And probably would have won Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think Herbert ended up winning it last year.
Yeah.
If Burrow played a full season, it probably would have been him.
Are the Bengals looking at back-to-back Super Bowls if he doesn't get hurt last year?
When did he get hurt? I actually am curious about this though.
I feel like it was mid-season, but I don't quite remember.
Yeah, I'm looking it up. I'm the stats guy.
You got it. All right, good. I am just curious because it seemed like, I mean, they had to have been like, 3-8 or something like that is my guess. Because it was, I remember it being like sort of later in the season, but not really. Like it wasn't like all the way at the end. Because
I remember it affecting fantasy because someone had him, and they were
so maybe it was before that even.
Yeah,
like maybe even like week 9 or.
Yeah.
It was November 23rd against.
Okay, week 9 sounds about right.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. Just look up Bengals versus Redskins or football team. I'm sorry,
Commanders.
The Commanders, guys. The Commanders. It's going to take, and it's the same thing as like the Raiders moving to Vegas. I still say Oakland Raiders.
Yeah,
like
I still call the Chargers San Diego sometimes.
San Diego. It's going to take some time, and I hope Roger Goodell understands that. Like this isn't something you can just do overnight.
It was week 10, and when they lost, the Bengals were 2-7-1.
2-7-1.
Oh, I thought you said 7-1.
Yeah,
2-7.
Well, they tied the Steelers actually. That was so. Steelers have 2 ties in a row
against 2 awful,
very bad teams because
Yeah.
they were very bad then too.
Yes.
So week 10, I was kind of right. That honestly, maybe he got injured on purpose. Are people talking about this? Conspiracy
been brought up.
Yeah. I mean, the part that makes it all too ironic, I think, is that Jamar Chase went to LSU. They went to college together. So, I mean, he's like, hey, I'll get hurt, guys. As long as we get the 5th draft pick, he should be there.
And same thing we said about Burrow can be said about Chase. He sat out his last year of eligibility at LSU because of COVID. So he didn't even play for LSU.
Oh, shit.
So national title straight to the Super Bowl.
Maybe they were training together. Oh, the entire time? Holy shit. Are we just uncovering something here?
Bengals tampering? Goodell, look into this. Thanks.
I mean,
this is like Illuminati type stuff.
I mean, we've been preaching the NFL is rigged, I think, ever since we've started doing this, guys. So, I mean, this is just yet another example of this.
More and more proof every day.
Every day, more light is being shown onto the truth. So it's time to jump on board with us and believe us because we are believing this. Yeah, we are believing this.
I just wish I could find the guy who rigs the NFL because I'd be rich if I knew.
To get like, oh man. Just to like be able to like throw, we could have bet on the Bengals before that Titans game.
Yeah.
And even put $100 on them to win the Super Bowl probably and won like, 8,000 or something ridiculous. Like, jeez, not much. We're not asking for much. Just a couple of grand.
A little something.
He's somebody's creepy uncle that they don't like. Like that creepy uncle at holidays. I don't know why I'm looking at the microphone. Sorry. Instead of ignoring him, listen to him for a little bit. He might be part of the secret NFL Illuminati that rigs the games. make a buck or two.
He's like that crazy uncle that, says the Cowboys are going to lose to who did they play in Thanksgiving this year?
Raiders.
Yeah, that's right. It was the Raiders, and they were pretty big favorites, right? The Raiders won outright.
8.5.
And you're like, shut up, uncle. Just there's no way that happens. And then he's like sitting over in the corner with his Coors Light, like telling you, I told you so.
Your family's more tame. My crazy uncle's already blacked out, like asleep by the time that late game's over.
Drinking Coors Light, Stu, or what is he drinking?
It's like a water bottle, but it's brown, so I don't know what that means. I'm really.
It's special stuff.
It's a liquid IV.
Yeah.
Anything? What else happened this week? I mean, I think one of the crazier things that happened was Alvin Kamara playing in the Pro Bowl, and then being arrested. I think it was 2 hours after it or 3 hours after it. It wasn't long after it.
Got back to his hotel, detained.
Yeah, he was arrested, and this is why I went to law school, so I could decipher.
So you can relay these facts to us. Thank you.
You're welcome, guys. 4 years of my life. But anyway, Friday night going into Saturday morning, he was with a group of guys at a nightclub. They were waiting at an elevator. Another guy came up. They started talking, and Kamara and their group started beating the crud out of him, kicking him. He blacked out. He woke up. The only thing he could remember was that
it was Alvin Kamara.
A black gentleman with braids or something was kicking him while he was down. That usually implies that they checked the video camera, and they were like, because he's a famous person, they were probably able to identify him. That usually takes a day or two.
So this actually happened Friday night.
Late Friday night going into Saturday morning.
When I first read the tweets, I thought it happened like after the Pro Bowl game, and like they went out to the club after the game or something.
No, I read the charges.
I thought it happened on the way to the game.
Yeah, I was confused about it too. So I read the charges, and it was late Friday night going into Saturday morning, and and I can't tell you exactly when he was identified, but it took enough time that he played in the Pro Bowl. And he came home and was like, and they were like,
do you think he was thinking about this at the Pro Bowl? Like, hey, like, I could be getting a knock on my door later today. Like,
that had to have been in the back of his mind.
Like, what the hell? Like, did he even do anything in the Pro Bowl? Like, I mean, I did not watch a second of the Pro Bowl.
He
usually was tuned into it, but
he was one of the many players that forgot it was two-hand touch.
Oh, really?
And just
kept running after the play was over, and was like, oh, okay.
Was it actually two-hand touch?
That sounds so lame.
Yeah, what actually was.
Why don't they just make it flag football, and then that way, like they don't have to wear helmets and pads, and maybe you can see.
Yo, that is actually a great idea, and I'd much rather watch that.
It'd be more fun to watch.
Stupid shit they put out yesterday.
And they're always trying. The NFL Network's always trying to sell flag football so kids don't get concussions and stuff. You might as well see the NFL players.
Yeah.
Wait, Kamara didn't play at all? Oh no, okay, so he did have 4 catches.
I saw one highlight.
He didn't rush the ball at all, but no one really did at all. But
yeah,
he had 4 catches for 23 yards. That was his contribution to
sick.
Well, and apparently he beat the shit out of someone too.
Yeah,
so that was his contribution to Vegas. And I said this to you guys right before we won. I was like, this is the first year Vegas, or is this the first or second? It might be the second. Second year they've been in Vegas, at least with the stadium. Because
first year
was COVID, right? Like the COVID, yeah. So like no fans, but there's been like an incredible amount of incidents in Vegas. Like, I don't think that's a coincidence. Like
no,
it's Sin City. Like, this is the first year they've had the Pro Bowl in Vegas, and there was issues. So like, what like, I don't remember hearing anything happening when it was in Hawaii. Not that I really paid much attention, but I don't recall anything really happening at the Pro Bowl when it was in Hawaii.
I think
it was more family friendly in Hawaii for sure.
Yeah, the whole family came.
Yeah.
We've definitely brought this up on the pod before, that the whole like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas slogan is such BS. It's like, do you think these players doing all these crazy things in Las Vegas are like, oh, I remember growing up seeing that TV commercial. Like, I'm fine. I can go 160. I can kick this guy in a nightclub. Cool, we're in Vegas.
Yeah, and from what it sounded like, it was just like one guy versus like 5 guys.
Yeah, there
like,
wasn't specifics on the size of the group. It was just a group of guys waiting for an elevator. Single guy goes up to the group. They start talking.
Do you think maybe he asked for like an autograph or something and they didn't like it?
No, he was getting kicked and punched pretty good, and he's got an orbital fracture, so that stinks.
Jeez. Yeah, so what? He like broke like right here, like on his face.
The inside eye muscle. It's like kind of like
brutal.
How your eye socket connects to your nose.
Absolutely brutal. Well, yeah. I mean, Alvin Kamara, not a very smart thing to do, especially in Vegas, because like you said, Jack, nothing really stays there. This is not what happens there. So,
well, at this point, you're more likely to hit the jackpot by getting beat up by an NFL player and like settling out of court than you are actually like hitting a slot.
Than in a slot machine or something. That's true.
New strategy. Just
no, they have some loose slots there.
Yeah, be a little bit of a jerk and get your ass kicked. Settle out of court for 6 figures. Dream.
Yeah, that is the dream, and maybe that's were his intentions. So he was stoking the fire, and it worked. I guess he had an attorney on standby.
I believe it.
He called Saul. Saul Goodman. Well, what the Saints just hired a new coach. We had a couple new coach hirings. The Dolphins coach is hilarious. Some of those interviews that he did in San Francisco are just absolutely hilarious. Real dorky guy, like
he's a Yale guy,
real nerdy guy.
Yeah.
I saw a picture that the Dolphins tweeted. Let me see if I can find it here. It was like, him getting on the private jet with his family, and there was one thing I noticed about the picture that sort of irked me a little bit. I don't know, just didn't really sit well with me. So here he is with his family. Let me pull this up. Mike McDaniel is his name.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a teenager.
He does. He looks super young, like way younger than Sean McVay. And so if you notice these pictures here, I don't know if you can see that there, but he's got AirPods in. Like what?
Oh my God.
Like, come on. Like, you're spending some family quality time here. Like it might be your daughter's first time ever on a plane. And it might be your first time on a private jet, Mr. McDaniel. And you're listening to like an audiobook or something. Like, what are you doing? What could be more important than spending you're on a flight to your new chapter, your new beginning in Miami, and you've got to have your AirPod in.
Let's not kill him too much. I'm pretty sure that maybe he's got a head pressure thing. Like,
so it could be like earplugs.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. That's fair. If that's true, I'll give him some slack. But I'm maybe if it was just me, I would probably just be trying to spend some quality family time. Not be listening to music, or maybe he has a pump up playlist that he listens to, and he needed to get like mentally ready to give a speech or something, some sort of press conference, introductory press conference.
Can you make calls from a private jet, or does that?
I'm sure you can, right? I think you can make a call on. So here's him on the plane, still got the AirPods in. So Jack, you might be onto something with that.
He looks like a character in a movie. Like, I don't.
Yeah. He does, actually.
Let's be honest. He had the AirPods in. It was the Dolphins owner on the other line saying, "Really sell that you're biracial. We need this to go over."
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't think that was something that I would do personally. But it's funny the way
as you're wearing AirPods.
As I'm wearing AirPods, yeah. Geez, talk about being a hypocrite here. But at least I have a purpose for them right now. I'm not on a private jet to my next chapter of my career.
Your wife and daughter.
Also, did you guys see his resume? So he was an intern for the Denver Broncos. Like that was his first job in the NFL, and his resume is incredible. Yeah, it's literally an Excel sheet. Yes. It's let me find it here. I'm having a hard time finding things here, so bear with me for a second. But it looks like a fifth grader made it. Honestly.
Jeff Darlington tweeted it out, I think. Right?
That's right. Yeah, Jeff Darlington. Yep. good old Jeff. That he was. Everyone thought Jeff Darlington jumped the gun there with the the Brady retiring tweet, but he might have some credibility to him. Is Jeff Darlington being handed the reins from Adam Schefter? Are we witnessing this? Is that because he was a part of that announcement?
Well,
it might be.
It is a contract year for Scheffler. People keep bringing that up, so maybe ESPN.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so here's his Excel resume here. It says his career objective. Now this is to be an intern, probably like a ball boy with the Denver Broncos. Honestly, to continue my professional development toward the goal of becoming a Hall of Fame NFL head coach, while contributing my experience, knowledge, and character to an NFL organization in pursuit of a world championship.
Wow.
And then, of course, he has Yale University as his education.
Okay,
there. He's got a flex
have
there.
Word, like where's Microsoft Word?
Is career objective is career objective something I should be putting on my resumes? So I just put in a blob like hope to make $1 billion and cure world hunger.
Of course, he had to throw in the Yale flex in there. I feel like every Ivy League person has to flex a little bit. It's standard, comes with a degree, I think. But it kind of bothers me whenever people call it a world championship. Like, does that bother you guys at all? It just doesn't.
Yeah, I don't get why the Super Bowl is referred to as that. Like, it's not. The world is not participating in the sport. It's just our country.
It's our country. Yeah, it's not a world championship. I think NBA does that too, but I've never really understood that. Like, what world champion? Like,
I don't get it either.
Yeah, it's stupid. Like,
NBA can at least say continental championship because they have a Canadian team. Like NFL.
True. Yeah, that's true.
More suspect.
Well, maybe they're saying world championship because they started having games in London, Mexico. So maybe they're just trying to become international. But that's my takeaway from his Excel resume. Just something that's always bothered me. So this is back in 2005. Like, Microsoft Word did exist back then.
Yeah, you get it with Excel.
We're not going to cut you any slack here,
no.
McDaniel.
No.
Well, any other news that I'm missing that happened this past week?
Kyler Murray.
That's so.
Stirring the pot.
So Kyler Murray. Let's get a little background here. Kyler Murray played in the Pro Bowl yesterday, represented the Cardinals. After the game, Alvin Kamara got rested. Okay, but besides that, Kyler Murray updated his Instagram and deleted all traces of the Cardinals, every single picture, and unfollowed them.
Yeah.
Really mature thing to do from someone that's paying your paycheck, right? And so, there's been rumors, speculation. What's he going to do? He's still under contract for 2 more years, or he has his 4th year coming up, and then a 5th year option that they will probably exercise. Let's get the rumor mill going, though. Do you guys think he is going back to the MLB. He's going to be going that route. Like he could make way more money in the MLB personally, but
my sources, I've heard it's going to be Murray to Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts on a 4th round pick for
rounder.
Well, Jalen Hurts is taller than Kyler Murray, and everybody knows that's what matters with quarterbacks. So,
wasn't Kyler the quarterback the year before Jalen went to Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah.
I think that just proves that
he went to Oklahoma.
Kyler?
I thought he went. Oh no, never mind. Mahomes went to Texas Tech.
No, wait, we could do this. It was Baker, Kyler.
Yeah, because they both won. They both won Heisman's, and then Jalen Hurts transferred there from Bama after Tua took his place in the national championship.
Yeah.
So like college national championship. It sounds right. National championship. That's what it is. Just because it's the pros doesn't make it world.
Yeah.
Sorry, not to get back into that, but
what do you think about Miss
Still very heated.
But so Kyler Murray was the number 1 overall pick 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, I guess. And
3 years ago, then they hired his preferred coach, Clinsbury, who's never won anything, even though he's had Mahomes as a quarterback. And now he wants out.
Now he wants out. So, or maybe Cliff will be fired. Maybe that's what's going to happen, and he's not happy about it. But you never want to piss off a little dude like Kyler Murray. Like he's pretty small, so like he must have quite the temper on him. You know, like just I would never piss anyone off that short. Just personally, I wouldn't. But
got Napoleon complex.
Yeah, big time. Wait, let me see if he updated his Instagram. Maybe like honestly, I think players just do this for attention too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think the rumor mill is starting is that he wants an extension before the last year of his deal. So he doesn't want that fifth. He doesn't want that 5th-year option to be picked up. Yeah, he doesn't want the option to be picked up. He wants to be paid top 3 quarterback money now. And the Cardinals kind of like, yo, bro, you really suck down the stretch. Like, let's see how this works.
Didn't they have like 7 straight losses? Like, come on, Kyler. Like,
yeah, they finished 11-7 after starting, or
11 or 10-0 or something.
Yeah,
it was like 9-0. It was something. It was pretty good. But
not only that, he had that in his playoff game. He had that Carson Wentz interception.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
that was unbelievable.
I mean, the Cardinals are definitely justified for being like, yo, dude, let's see how you look next year when DeAndre Hopkins is healthy, and then we'll give you the money. But hey, we're in a world where they want to get paid now. There's instant gratification. All the kids,
and that's all they want. Yeah, they don't even want to play for it. And also, like they brought together J.J. Watt and DeAndre Hopkins. Like, what were you going to expect? Like, you bring Texans on a team, like you get the Texans, right? Like, and I don't know if you saw that. I think Mike Evans, after all this shit came out, like with him deleting the pictures and everything, Mike Evans was like, "I've always wanted to catch a pass from a Texan or something like that," or like he like said some stupid comments, like
tampering.
Yes. See if I can find it real fast.
Wait, alluding to Deshaun Watson or Kyler Murray?
Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Because Kyler Murray was the quarterback for the Pro Bowl, and Mike Evans was there too.
Oh, right.
Well, do you think Mike Evans talked to Kyler Murray during the Pro Bowl and was like, yo, we need a quarterback down in Tampa. Do whatever you want.
Or did he hack his Instagram account?
Oh. This is
check and see if he has one of those Ray-Bans posts. You'll know if he got hacked.
Yeah. Kyler Murray's definitely the type of guy whose password is just like Kyler Murray 01. Mike Evans gets it on the second guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anyway, and I think Austin said this in his blog post. Like anyone who calls himself K1, like thinks about pretty highly of himself, I think.
Yeah, it took some time before Tom became TB12. Like, he didn't do that right away.
Mm-hmm. It's
you got to earn it.
Let's pump the brakes. And honestly, I hate to say it, but same with Joe Burrow. Like, if he loses Sunday, like, I mean, is he just going to become like another like Jared Goff? Like, I thought Jared Goff was going to be like the pinnacle like quarterback for the NFL, and now he's been outcast in Detroit. So
ever since that Super Bowl performance that they had.
Right. Yeah. And maybe I'm like a little bit jaded because I think I had the Rams in that Super Bowl. So
yeah.
And it's just one of the most frustrating games to watch. The team.
The Patriots were awful too.
Not to be able to do shit. Like,
I mean, it's a good point. Like, this is a pretty, although it's Rams Bengals and it doesn't seem like a lot, it's kind of a huge Super Bowl for both the quarterbacks. Because
for both, because it's Stafford's legacy. Because if he gets one, everyone will be like, "Oh, he was a great quarterback. Stafford, top 5 all time." Like,
if Stafford gets one, he's in the Hall of Fame. Like, his numbers are already better than Eli Manning and Phil.
You're right. You're right. I mean, 100%. And so if Stafford loses, yeah, you're right. I think his legacy is tarnished. And I mean, unless he's able to get back again next year. But, I mean, would people say the same thing about Aaron Donald? I mean, he can't win the big game. This would be his second Super Bowl loss. Like, people were talking about his leadership skills. I don't know. It's a lot at stake on Sunday, which leads me to my next point. Let's start off with something that everyone loves talking about, and it's the Gatorade color. Let's talk about the end of the game. What is your guess for the Gatorade color this year?
I'm gonna go with orange.
Orange, I like that. Orange is pretty. So, does that mean you're banking on the Bengals to win?
Would they
go
was the
orange?
First thing that I thought of, but
Okay.
I also I don't think orange was last year. I think orange is due. Orange is due. Is really what it's at.
Do we have? Can you guys pull up Gatorade odds? Jack, what do you got? Or Hub, could you pull up the actual odds?
Do you know where to? Because I don't think they have that on like standard sports. But let's just check it.
Just test out the Google machine.
Okay, here we go. I got it. The odds right now, plus 225 red, plus 180 orange.
Okay.
Well, they have, I guess, because it's pretty similar, and they don't want to.
Orange and what?
Orange and yellow is combined at plus 180. Then blue is plus 550, and then other is plus 1800.
Other, so Gatorade Ice, clear Gatorade would be under the other category.
Bovada has a little different odds. They have orange right now is the favorite at 130.
So you're going with the favorite, Hub.
I had no idea though. I did not look these odds up. I promise.
Wow.
Purple's plus 1200. That's juicy.
And
then they have the behind orange is clear/water.
Clear is an actual option.
Yeah,
too.
At plus 175.
Oh damn!
Water is plus 175.
Yeah, and then plus 300 is lime, green, yellow, like combination.
Well, the markets are all over the place with this. This is not good. Not good work, Vegas. What the heck?
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a hard thing to quantify. Just based on, you probably just base it on like history, right? Like what
I think
was
so.
hit in the past.
Yeah.
Jack, what are you going with? Hub's going with orange. What are you going with?
I'll go with water. I think water's due a comeback. It's the least sticky option. If I was a head coach, I would demand that if I win the Super Bowl, I only want water. That way, like, no one likes to be wet, but everybody hates being wet and sticky. Like,
wet and sticky, that's an awful combination.
Yeah, greatest moment of your life. You have to spend the rest of the night covered in like Gatorade. Water will dry.
Especially if you're wearing, like, if it gets in your shoes and then you have like wet socks, just like an awful feeling.
Yeah, and then you're about to go get blasted by champagne in the locker room.
So maybe you can't avoid it, actually. Yeah.
You're gonna be wet and sticky all night. It's all good.
Do NFL coaches bring changes of clothes to the Super Bowl, like 4 or 5? So the one for
like the press conference, and
and then after the champagne, and then the party, and
these are things you don't really think about.
Yeah.
Well, someone on the team is thinking about it. Some equipment manager or something.
Right.
Yeah,
someone's job.
So all right, so I'm gonna go with blue. So you guys hub one with orange, Jack one with water. I'm gonna go with blue. And blue's my favorite color.
Yeah, me too. That is my favorite.
Cool blue. So I'm just gonna go with my favorite. All right, so we got our Gatorade picks. Let's give our favorite prop bets for the big game. You guys have a couple you picked out, or?
I do. I have one in particular that I really like. I like T. Higgins to have more yards than Jamar Chase, plus 115.
Oh, wow. That's pretty juicy. Damn. So T. Higgins more receiving yards than Jamar Chase. Wow. I like that. Pretty decent odds too.
What's the other side of that, Hub?
Minus 145.
All right, I'll fade for minus 145 because I didn't get before this.
All right. So you're taking the opposite. So someone's got to win.
I'm going to take Chase more than Boyd, or was it Boyd
Higgins?
Or Higgins. Chase more than Higgins.
More than Boyd, it would probably be like a huge favorite.
Yeah,
that's not even an option.
Yeah. I was going to say.
Is it going to be 2 straight games where Chase gets shut down? I don't really see that happening. Burrow's definitely going to force.
Did he get shut down last week?
I don't know.
A touchdown with like 70 yards.
T. Higgins just went off. Like, I mean, because he was getting double covered. Chase was getting double covered.
I think Chase had that one long screen pass for 50 yards. I don't think he did much besides that.
It really wasn't. Yeah, it really wasn't.
Yeah,
but it's the double coverage that he's drawing that allows the other players.
Which is why I'm making this bet.
Yes, good bet. For now.
Chase 54 yards against the Chiefs.
And one of them was a huge play, like a 40-yard play or something.
Well, my whole theory is you guys brought up the double team. That's what a normal coach would do. But we're dealing with a genius big brain coach in Sean McVay.
Who also has Jalen Ramsey.
So he's going to think something
pretty good secondary. Yeah,
he's going to be like, everybody's expecting me to double Chase, but the real smart thing to do was double Higgins and put Ramsey on Boyd and just leave.
Because Joe Burrow.
I hope he does that.
Auto check down to Higgins.
Yeah, because Sean McVay is so much smarter than us. We can't even comprehend his strategy.
His moves.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Is CJ Uzomah coming back, or is he still hurt?
We
don't know.
I wouldn't touch his props personally.
No.
Him and Higbee. Didn't Higbee get hurt too?
Yeah, both of them. I'm not going anywhere near them.
I'm not going to touch that. But one I do like is Cooper Kupp over 8.5 receptions.
Oh yeah, I love that.
I think he. Speaking of getting forced the ball, I think he's going to be getting screen plays left and right.
Yeah.
And another one I like also 8.5. Joe Burrow over 8.5. His longest rush.
I
love that.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, I might hammer that one.
What's that?
Sorry in advance.
I saw it on DraftKings, so
okay,
it's a good spot to look for it.
Might have to put that in a same game parlay.
And actually, I just realized all of mine are 8.5. Samaji, is it Perrin?
P. Ryan, I think.
Brandon
P. Ryan. Over 8.5 receiving yards. So all of mine
one catch.
All of mine are 8.5, and I think I like all of them a lot. I might parlay them. I might, every which way.
You gotta watch the single digit props though, because that's what at the end.
They're fishy.
Yeah. The end of the Eagles season, that was kind of what Jalen Reagor turned into. It was like, all he needs one catch, and then he gets one catch for -4 yards. You're like, oh, cool.
P. Ryan's had a couple catches in the past 2 games though. He's had I think at least both games he's had 20-yard catches. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that touchdown last week, right?
Yeah. He had 43 yards last week against the Chiefs.
I think that was that one play.
Was it that one play?
He might have had two catches, but I'm pretty sure that that catch was for like 30 plus yards.
3 catches. He had 3
Right?
catches.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was 41 yards. So he only had 2 yards for 2 other catches.
Oh my god.
All right, well, let's go back one more game. P. Ryan had 1 catch for 4 yards. So tread carefully. Yeah.
What's the over on this one, AD?
Like the total?
Yeah.
48.5.
48.5. Yeah.
I think we're due for another boring Super Bowl. Well, no, last year was pretty boring. That's usually how I make my decisions. Like, what happened last year, and just go the opposite.
Well, do you want to make your pick?
Yeah.
The spread's 4, -4 Rams.
It has not moved at all in 2 weeks.
I saw it go down to 3.5 right away, and then back up, and then up to 4.5 for like a second, but then it came back down.
Yeah, it's been steady.
Okay, 48.5 plus 4.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Bengals plus 4. The over to hit.
Okay.
And I like Rams 30, Bengals 28.
Oh, okay. Rams 30, Bengals 28. So, okay, so you like the cover.
I like the cover. I think Burrow probably has a touchdown drive with a few minutes left to give him the lead, and then Stafford cements his legacy with a
field goal.
Yeah, Super Bowl winning drive and
Matt Gay field goal.
Everyone in Los Angeles is gay because the Rams won. Like, gay isn't happy.
It's the best selling jersey.
Joyous.
Next day. Hub, what about you?
Well, I like the final score to be Rams 28, Bengals 24. So I like a push.
Oh.
I mean, I would like the point to move a little bit in a half-point direction so I could actually win a bet. But so I like the over with that.
Yeah, that's the over, right? I'm also going to go over. So if you're listening out there, make sure you put every dollar you have on the under. If we have three guys on this podcast liking the over, you know what to do right away.
Bengals under.
Yeah. And I think I like the Bengals too. I'm wearing all orange. I mean, it makes sense, right? I'm going to go. I like the Bengals to win, actually. So I'm going to go Bengals 31, Rams 28. Because if in an ideal world for the Bengals, it would end on an Evan McPherson field goal, right? Like,
it's been that kind of year.
He's been their guy all year long. So yeah. I don't think it's going to change here.
Well, McPherson might be more swaggy than Burrow. No one's.
He is.
Yeah, for sure.
I think he could be. He hasn't missed in the playoffs, so that could be a jinx too. That I just made on him. So.
Fade his
points. Fade his points. I don't know. I just want a good Super Bowl, honestly. I like that one Super Bowl that we just talked about, the Rams Patriots. Like, that was
so awful.
And I think what made it worse at the time, like, I like Tom, but like, I didn't want to see him win a Super Bowl like that. Like,
no,
he didn't do anything to win that Super Bowl. That was his defense that did it. But that. You could say the same thing for Big Ben. You could say the same thing for a lot of quarterbacks. Joe Flacco, but that's the NFL that we know and love.
While we're still on McPherson, I got to get my prop in. McPherson over 7.5 total points. So
it's 7.5 because normally it's 6.5 for kickers, but
it's 7.5
because he's so good.
He's hitting 3 field goals.
Easily.
Really, all he has to do is hit 2 field goals. You really think the Bengals aren't going to find?
That's true. Yeah, 2 extra points.
Score twice. Yeah, right. Yeah. I like it, guys. I think it's going to go exactly how we thought it was going to go. We're all going to be happy. I think we're all going to be happy after the Super Bowl.
I just want the intern to clip that when they win 30-28 Rams. Like, if that's not clipped by our next show, we need to fire someone, guys.
Someone needs to lose their job.
Our production interns.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are you listening, boys? They keep looking.
Of course they are. They're always watching live.
in the studio.
All right, so we got our Super Bowl picks. Guys, let's just let's get a little snake draft going. You guys want to have a little snake draft?
Let's do it.
The greatest Super Bowl moments. Let's do two each. Top two. So who wants to lead it off? One of you's gonna get the
2 each. That's a lot of pressure.
Strip sack or
is it strip sack or is it Philly? You know,
I don't know.
This is the toughest decision of my life.
Yeah, you are on the clock. Bim, 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 bim.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna switch it up. I'm not gonna go Eagles.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go. It was probably my first memory as a football fan that wasn't Eagles, and pretty much cemented me loving the NFL. Has to be Rams Titans. Kevin Dyson stretching out a yard short. Game over. It's gonna be my first pick of the draft.
Wow.
That was on my birthday. I'll never forget that.
Was it really?
Yeah. Back when there wasn't a break in between the championship.
There wasn't a week break.
Right. Yeah.
I see. I remember thinking, like, as a kid, like, and maybe I was a little bit biased because Austin was from Nashville and, like, you know, huge Titans fan. Like, I wanted that to be a touchdown, but, like, what a crazy ending, though. Just absolutely just.
Game of inches.
And really, it was the game before that for the Titans that the Music City Miracle that, you know, that's all Titans fans have to hang their hat on at this current time. But
they're clinging on to it.
Yeah. It was karma because anyone who doesn't have a horse in any race knows that was a forward pass. Yeah. So the football gods
came back. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Maybe it was the football gods. I believe in them.
Same.
All right, Hub, go ahead. What do you got?
I'm also not going to go Eagles just yet.
What if I take the Eagles?
Honestly, one of my favorite moments is it's a moment within a moment. So the moment of the game is Malcolm Butler intercepting probably the worst coaching decision ever. But
another unbelievable Tom Brady Super Bowl win.
Just love Tom, but he's so lucky.
Yeah.
But what I love about it is Richard Sherman's face. If you're able to pull it up,
I'll see if I can find it.
It looks like he just found out that he'd been dating a girl that actually was his cousin. Like, he looks so disgusted and disappointed in the team.
It is like the quintessential, like, disgusted face. Like,
it's amazing.
I can't believe it face. Look, someone's even selling it on a T-shirt here. That is amazing, and honestly, a great memory. One of the most unbelievable endings to a game, maybe despite the 28-3 comeback against the Falcons. Like, that was also unbelievable. But like that play, just left you.
Yeah, that game should have been over. Marshawn Lynch should have ran the ball
scratching your head. Yeah.
Chris Collinsworth on the call, he's like almost like angry. He's like, he
probably had money. He probably had money on this.
Yeah, exactly.
He was probably so happy. Like, all they had to do was run it in, and he won his bet. And
he's genuinely mad.
If I remember correctly, actually, I think not only was it the this came down to the spread on that game, because I think it was like -3 Seahawks, but the over didn't hit as a result of that too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure it was 28-24 was the final. I think the over-under was like 53 or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
it was crazy.
Well, it was a huge moment in our society. Like,
it was. It really was.
The next season, if anybody remembers the league, I'm pretty sure the season premiere started off with a joke about how they didn't run the ball to Marshawn Lynch with Marshawn Lynch.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Truly incredible.
Really defined the times.
It did.
Now, could you imagine, though, in 2022, I bet you people aren't as mad about throwing the ball on the 1-yard line. Like, we've kind of shunned away from that in our modern day football.
some people get mad when you run the ball in a situation like that. You're right. It's a passing league now, and clearly the Pro Bowl was a direct result of that. 2-hand touch yesterday. All right, I'm going to give probably a pretty standard answer, and it's actually not the Santonio Holmes catch, because that was obviously unbelievable throw, but the moment that defined that game was right before halftime, whenever James Harrison ran that ball back, because there were zeros on the clock. If he didn't score that ball, like that changes the whole game. Like,
Holmes probably never gets to have that catch if that doesn't happen.
14-point, yeah. I mean, a 14-point swing in the least. Like, I mean, they were on the 2-yard or like 1-yard line whenever that happened, and just so improbable for him to make it the whole way back, and like unbelievable that the way he like landed in the end zone too. Just I'll never forget that. That was.
He dropped back insane. Like he was like a defensive back too. Like that wasn't just like some big man like bouncing the ball in the air and like getting lucky and grabbing it. Like that was a real interception. That was crazy.
Very real. But yeah, that's got to be my number one. But I'll only do one pick. Well, we don't have to do like a standard snake draft since it's only two. So
we'll just go back from the top.
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead,
well,
Jim.
I want to give my official pick and then an honorable mention. I'm probably going to talk about the honorable mention more than the actual pick, but probably the actual pick. I'm going to take Philly, just because, you're in the Super Bowl against Tom Brady. Even if you really believe in your team, you don't really believe in your team. You're just waiting for Tom Brady to beat you and
to turn on. So, yeah, exactly.
It was just to paint a better picture. The Eagles had 1st and goal at the 5, and then it was 4th and goal at the 1. And I'm not even going to lie to you. I was yelling at the TV, take the points. What are you doing? And then to score on a play like that.
Big balls, Doug.
Yeah. When I first actually started believing. So that would be, I have to take Philly just because of how much it really
and not just Philly, but also the fact that the Patriots tried to run the same play and he dropped it.
Which
is like even more funny.
But my honorable mention, not even related to the game, but it had to be Floyd Mayweather taking a 50-1 bet, putting $50,000 on the first score of the Broncos.
Oh my God, yeah.
Panthers game being a safe. Was it Broncos Panthers or was it Broncos Seahawks?
It was Broncos Panthers because Cam Newton was the quarterback.
Yeah, first score of the game being a safety, and I just remember it was in the heyday of Money Mayweather, and he hit like a $50,000 bet on the stupidest bet, and it hit,
and it actually hit,
like 10 million. I was like, wow.
Oh my God!
Snapped it right over Cam's head. It was if you remember that Super Bowl, like it's just like you knew right then and there that the game was over. Like there was no way you could recover from that.
It's just hilarious to me that there was a Super Bowl and at one point the score was 2-0 in that game. Someone, I don't know, got home late from work and they flip on the Panthers Broncos Super Bowl and they look down, it's 2-0. You're like, what the?
And everyone that does like the Super Bowl squares is like losing their mind because they had like 7-0 or something. They're like, God damn it. But that's obviously very memorable for the both of you. Philly special. That was incredible play.
Yeah. So
some people got it tattooed, right? Some Eagles fans got it tattooed.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's painted on the side of buildings in South Philly. It's all over the place.
And to all the NFL coaches and offensive coordinators, college coaches, high school coaches, please stop calling Philly. Every time the quarterback goes in motion, the whole defense knows what. Like, I swear to God,
it worked once.
It works once. It will never work again.
It's not going to work again.
Never work again.
No.
One team ran a successful variation of it, I think, and they were like ESPN went nuts for like a week. Like it's just I'm
surprised they didn't make it illegal actually, like they did with the fake slide Kenny Pickett.
But my second moment comes from that game as well. It's pretty much what sealed the game. Tom still had a chance at the very end, but when Brandon Graham strip sack And Derek Barnett did the only good thing he's ever done in his career. Probably will be the only good thing he ever did.
Just like why he's still an Eagle today, basically.
Yeah, like that moment, I don't think I've ever been like happier. Like it was actually going to happen.
Elated would be
elated is the correct word. Yeah,
it was the football gods again.
Exactly.
Barnett, who recovered the ball, didn't even knew he recovered the ball. Like he just magically bounced into the crook of his arm, and he was like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah. Oh, nice. There it is. So, look what I found. And my last pick has to be the Edelman catch, because of how improbable that comeback was. Like, and hate him or love him, like that was all Tom Brady. Like, yes, Edelman made the catch, but like Tom put them in that position to even think about coming back. And it's just what a wild, and I mean, just the whole city of Atlanta just cannot. I mean, at least they have the Braves. They won the World Series finally, but Georgia. True. Yeah. They had some dark times in the state of Georgia, though, with when it came to like blowing games and like losing comebacks, and just totally unbelievable. And honorable mention for me as well also involved Tom Brady, which is the David Tyree helmet catch. And I remember being pissed about that because I remember just wanting to see a perfect team in the NFL for some reason as a kid. I don't know why. Doesn't really make sense logically, especially because it was Tom Brady and the Patriots. But I remember just like wanting to, like, because I remember like thinking about like, oh, well, the Dolphins did it in the 70s, but they didn't win the Super Bowl. So like I wanted to see the first team to ever do it, but clearly David Tyree's helmet had something else to do with that, and really cemented Eli's legacy, Hall of Fame career, and maybe the Mannings in general.
Kept Randy Moss from winning a Super Bowl too.
Yeah, true.
I think the Mannings went back to back, right? It was Peyton won against Chicago, and then Eli won against the Patriots.
That's right.
Yeah, 06 and 07.
Yeah,
that's right.
No one talks about the beginning of that play, but I remember being pissed off as a kid because he was sacked.
Like, he was sacked. Yeah,
the defensive player stopped because if you drive a quarterback into the ground, it's like
flag.
Yeah,
that's the only way Eli is getting out of that.
Yeah, they stopped playing, and then Eli like did two goofy steps right and just prayed to God. And
yeah, Eli hasn't moved like that since in the pocket. So that was his time to shine there. But hopefully we have a new memory from this year. Whether and I have a lot of expectations for the halftime show. I don't know about you guys, but
I'm so excited for that.
I mean,
I've never been excited for a halftime show.
I don't think I've ever been excited either. Maybe as a little kid, whenever Janet Jackson's boob came out. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it, and I have a lot of hope and expectations. So they better do it big.
I think they will.
Real big. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we'll have some crazy shit happen this year that we'll be talking about next year. So just hoping for a good game. I hope everyone has fun. Hope no one gets hurt. That's all I'm looking for this year.
Good, clean football.
Yeah, exactly. Just do it for the shield. All right. So, and also the update to our draft picks from the beginning of playoffs. It is Jack versus Hub. Hub has the Bengals. Jack has the Rams.
$10,000 on the line still.
$10,000 on the line. So the winner of that will be, I think it's Bitcoin payment. 10,000 in Bitcoin. So that'll be dropped into their wallet immediately after the game.
Can we get in Doge instead? Or
you'd have to talk to production team on that one. Yeah, I don't know. But I think, guys, I think that pretty much does it for us this week.
I got one thing to say before we go, AD.
Yeah, let's hear it.
If you want a fresh take on the Ben Simmons saga, definitely.
Oh, that's right.
Clint's newest article.
It's another conspiracy theory. I dropped
Yeah, huge.
I dropped a conspiracy theory last week about the Bill Belichick stuff, and Jack has another good one this week. So
yeah, I don't want to spoil too much because I want our listeners, all 10 million of them, to go read and get our numbers up. But Benson,
corkbats.com.
Corkbats.com.
Cork to
Ben
the cat.
Simmons might not be a bad guy, guys, and I can't believe I find myself saying this, but
it surprises me too.
Shocking.
Yeah.
He might be one of the most progressive guys in the league. I'll just leave it at that. So, go read.
And once again, I forgot to text Frank this week. I'm really bad at doing that. I need to set like a reminder or something. So I'll leave you with a Super Bowl fact that I will randomly Google right now. I don't know how interesting these facts are going to be. Tickets aren't cheap, in case you're wondering.
That is a fact.
That is a fact. I think I saw the cheapest ticket was like $3,000, wasn't it? Like it was something ridiculous.
Yeah. I honestly thought it was like $10,000 at this
maybe
point.
It was more than that. I'm just pulling a number out of my ass. But if you think about it, though, you really are getting a ticket to a pretty epic concert too, with all those people. Kendrick, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Mary J. Blige.
Yeah, I mean,
is that it? Snoop Dogg as well.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg.
Dr. Dre doesn't get out much, so seeing him is like buying a Picasso.
Well, he released a song this past week. I don't know if you listened to it.
I have not. Is it not good?
It's not very good. So, but they had to do something. Like I think they all released music. Eminem did too. They all had to do something before the Super Bowl, right? Like they need something to click on. But Dr. Dre just doesn't even sound like Dr. Dre. So
no, he's like 50. I think isn't he almost 60?
He's got to be. I mean, he's a billionaire. Isn't he a billionaire?
Yeah. The beats.
Dr. Dre's 56.
Wow. I mean, he looks good for his age, but his voice is definitely getting older.
It's just I mean, it's got to be hard to maintain a rap career throughout your entire life. So
you're a grandfather.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so we'll have a recap next week. We'll get into it. We'll figure out who was right, who was wrong, who picked the Gatorade color, and we'll get to the bottom of it, guys. One thing I do want to remind you of, as you can see here, I'm pulling out a little leaf. Make sure you're taking care of your plants this winter. They need watered still. It's important. Do you guys have anything for the road, though? Hub, you got anything for the road?
Since we didn't have an actual fun fact, I can give a little fun fact related to what I mentioned earlier about not having an appendix anymore. 8% of the people on the world had appendicitis. So
wow,
I am part of the 8%.
8%. That includes my my wife. She had her appendix out too. So
and like all of your prop bets, 8.5. I think
8.5. 8.5. So remember to take those 8.5 prop bets too.
Yes.
Yes. All right, Jack, you got anything for the road?
No, I'm done.
He's just adding comments to our show. He won't be watching the Super Bowl. Apparently, Jack won't be watching the Super Bowl. All right, guys. Well,
I thought it was my burner. Crap.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, and enjoy the big game this week. Just need to figure out how I end this. So
ahoy.
Ahoy.
There it is. Ahoy.